What if I told you there was a segment of your marriage, of your life really, that either has the power to break your marriage apart or to glue it together? Would you want to know what it is and how to harness that power? Well, it's the way you handle money. We are all very aware of the statistics that show the link between financial arguments and divorce. But what about the flip side of that? Couldn't the same fuel that our enemy tosses on the fire of our arguments be used as a fuel to propel us forward in unity as we face financial challenges?
Have you ever been on a team that was considered an underdog? How close did you feel to your teammates after you beat that team that was supposedly tougher and better than you? I coached my daughter's soccer team. We played a team much better than us. They hadn't lost in 2 years. Well, we got absolutely dominated the entire game, but we won. We had 1 shot on goal the entire game and 1 goal. They had like 40 shots on goal and 0 goals. I bet 6 shots ricocheted off the post, but it made our team so excited and so bonded. When we face financial challenges together as a couple, we can come out on the other side stronger and closer to each other than ever. As the saying goes, teamwork makes dream work.
So sometimes our communication about money is just hard because we just don't understand one another. So we're going to do a list. It's not an exhaustive list, but there are several key factors. Family of origin. Was money scarce or plentiful in your home? Did both parents work? Did your family buy things on credit? Were vacations considered necessities or luxuries? And then there's opportunities and skills we've been given. So if you grew up in a one-stoplight town with limited opportunities versus growing up in a more metropolitan area with limitless opportunities, that's going to shape our financial outlooks. Our observation of others too. Was there a boss or a mentor you looked up to in your early years of working? Did a teacher or coach or minister take you under their wing and teach you how to manage money? The Bible. Depending on how long you've followed Christ, you're hopefully following His teachings on managing the resources God's given you, spending wisely and giving generously.
Sometimes our view of money just evolves with no real direction because no one in our lives is really talking about it. So today we'll spend some time talking about it and clearing a path for future conversations. As we reference in our 621 challenge, Matthew 6:21 states, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." This principle applies to all areas of life, but it seems most obvious when we look at where we're spending our money. Looking at a bank account can tell you a lot about where a person's priorities are. The problem with this concept is that it's so much easier to look at others and see what they value. When looking at ourselves, we need some objective way to evaluate our own values. This is where the strategy of monitoring comes in. So how do we best do this? Well, the typical approach is make a budget, grit your teeth, try to stick to it, criticize your spouse, go over the budget, get frustrated, chuck it all, wait a few months, and then try it again. So instead of going straight to the B word, budget, try just documenting spending. Just write down everything you spend for an entire month and put it into categories. For example, if you buy gas, put it under gas. Then, with grace being primary, look at it together. Then decide where things need to be adjusted.
Yeah. We did this early in our marriage and we were like, oops, we were spending way more than we were earning and we had no idea. So we had to make adjustments. This does 2 things. First, you know where your money's going. And second, it gives you guidance onto where you need to adjust. Of course, we need to trust each other to spend wisely on the day-to-day items, but it's wise when you run into larger purchases to talk to them. Talk to each other before you make a purchase. We like to call it the 2-0 rule. If we both don't agree on the purchase, we don't buy it. You can decide together what your minimum price point is for this kind of purchase. Buying bicycles is an example.
This rule works if both spouses are looking out for one another. It doesn't work well if one or both spouses is self-focused and just trying to get what they want. You might think this habit of recording, assessing, and adjusting sounds tedious or complicated, but it could actually be a source of freedom in your life and satisfaction in your marriage. Who doesn't want to be married to someone who has financial house in order and can afford to be generous toward others? One Grace Marriage participant said, "There's nothing sexier than my husband generously helping people who need it." And from a man's perspective, in Proverbs 31:11, how wonderful is it when he can say of his wife, Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. Whether you choose to try this for 1 month, 2 months, or the rest of your lives, let's encourage each other with these words from Timothy 6:17. As for the rich in this present age, charge them not to be haughty, nor to set their hopes on the uncertainty of riches, but on God, who richly provides us with everything to enjoy. They are to do good, to be rich in good works, to be generous and ready to share, thus storing up treasure for themselves as a good foundation for the future, so that they may take hold of that which is truly life. So our prayer is that you work together to bring God glory in the way you handle finances together.